Hello friends, in the series on the income tax cases, today we will discuss the case of Unideep Food Processing Private Limited versus Income Tax Appellate Tribunal and others. And this case has been reported in 457 ITR at page number 552. The matter has been decided by Orissa High Court and the date of the judgment is 14th February 2023. As all we know that nowadays the expectations of the fiscal departments like income tax department, GST department and even the courts expect from the assessee that the assessee has to go beyond the limit to prove the genuineness of the transactions. The best example of this great expectations is section 68. If we read section 68 with section 148, then the department gives the power to the assessing officer that the assessing officer can travel beyond up to 10 years. For example, if there is a case when the assessee has taken some unsecured loans and section 148 case is reopened for the 10th year, then the assessee has to take the documents of the 10 years back of the lender like confirmation, bank statement, copy of balance sheet, and even the assessee has to somehow produce that lender before the assessing authorities if the notice under section 131 is issued to give his statement that he has given this loan to the assessee. The question arises whether this liability of the assessee is justified or not. No person of any caliber can keep these documents, and it cannot be expected from the assessee that he is maintaining all the documents for the 10-11 years and can produce them to prove the satisfaction of the transaction beyond a limit. Because if we prove one thing, then the department makes the addition on the some other point. This is the case which is the perfect example where the assessee has suffered due to this thing. In the present case, the assessee has taken some loans from the farmers. During the assessment proceedings, the assessing officer was of the opinion that the assessee is not able to prove that these loans have been repaid. So he made the addition under section 68. Section 68 talks about the cash credit. Matter came to the CIT appeal. CIT appeal made the addition, and when the assessee moved to the ITAT remanded this matter to the assessing officer by giving a direction that the assessing officer has to call the creditors and then confirm whether they have been paid or not. But in the second round of litigation, the assessing officer failed to call off the creditors but made the additions on the same facts. The assessee moved to the CIT appeal. CIT appeal again confirmed the order of the assessing officer. ITAT also upheld the order of the assessing officer, even if the assessing officer has failed to comply with the directions of the tribunal. This was the harsh point of this case. And when this matter came to the Orissa High Court, with due respect to the High Court, said that in this case, if the assessing officer failed to calling of the creditors and confirm them, then it was the duty of the assessee to remind the assessing officer or to tell him that you have to follow the directions of the tribunal. And if the assessee has failed to do so by reminding the assessing officer, then it is the fault of the assessee. And the Orissa High Court also said that the assessee has not produced the affidavits of the farmer lenders or creditors to prove that they have been repaid. Friends, there is no doubt that the assessee has not produced the affidavits, but this was not the sole of the directions of the ITAT in the first round of litigation. The assessing officer was directed to call for the creditors. If the creditors were not called off by the assessing officer, then the addition of the assessee should not sustained. But the Orissa High Court said that when the ITAT is not doubtful about the factual aspects of the case, then in that case, even if the assessing officer has not complied with the directions of the Honorable ITAT, even then the additions made by the learned assessing officers are very much justified. At the end of this video, once again I am repeating the name of the case. The name of the case is Unideep Food Processing Private Limited versus Income Tax Appellate Tribunal and others, and this case has been reported in 457 ITR at page number 552. The matter has been decided by Orissa High Court and the date of the judgment is 14th February 2023. Thank you, friends.